This is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Oh, let's go live. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Calm Elixir of the Gods. Okay, I'm adding Calm Elixir of the Gods to the band. List of band songs. It's a bit too lengthy and too much for me. So I would inquire you, Dorset, to choose a different song. For example, we can listen to Broken Hearted, which we didn't for a long time, around Broken Hearted. Come, Elixir of the Streamer. Added giving girls facials in public in position 5th to the queue. I add giving girls facials in public to the list of banned songs. It is no longer allowed to request that. They say it's good for your skin. Who's you in the scenario? The receiver or the receiver? Wait, that's the same. The receiver or the provider? Alright, the challenge starting in 13 seconds. Okay. I have removed the American Pie rule as that guy doesn't come around anymore. I think that person still shows up, but that's fair. Good day, Cancer MTG. Good day, X-Riechn. Looks like pepperoni. Just like I would keep fuel if I were to acquire it, as I do not typically throw away my possessions. I don't think I like griefing turn 1 in a situation like this. Hydronic... Why did I cycle then? Hydronic Cascade, I guess I would have, but I probably shouldn't have cycled Sorcerer Speed at all. I'm still figuring out the cycling timings. Also, letting my opponent know I'm on living end is non-zero. Okay, Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam should be an okay match. I have 4 Grief for Force of Negation. Quite a lot of interaction. Warwick can bounce their effects, but maybe my clock is not gonna be fast enough. Let's see. Grief, grief. Good grief. If I'm gonna place a Pentat Prism, I will spend my mana bouncing it. I got an email from Huel this morning saying you're now a hooligan. Did they actually say that? It's kinda cringe. But also fair. We'll probably not be able to double grief, so I will consider cycling Aquitects. And pitching grief to grief. If that enables me to cascade on next turn especially. The Borrowers being kinda dead is not very cash money. Yeah, I think I should be looking for a cascade. Good. So I'll take Angel's Grace and then play this. They can't Pact of Negation, right? Unless they would like to Spalls for Angel's Grace, which is risky. Lotus is coming 2 turns. Hey dude, Twitter link isn't working, just for your information, haha. The one I posted on Twitter, or which one? I think I added a comma. Oh, actually, yeah, made the type on my URL. Kinda funny. Thank you for letting me know. Alright, improved. If I take Grace, they can't Pact, but they can Pact if they Spalls for Grace. And then I have a Shardless Agent. So it's probably better to take the... How much power do I have? I have 4, 7... Well, we get to Aquitects them. So we also know that they don't draw anything. So they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, plus 6. So we have exactly 18. Plus 20, so we have 20. Yeah, so I'm gonna take the Pact of Negotiation. And then we're gonna decide which one we take after we grief. They have no grace, how they pact? Well, they can have a grace with this. And then I have 2 power and nothing really versus them having nothing, but I think it's a better scenario if I just gonna kill them, right? I think it's like close, so I think I could see taking the grace. But if I take the pact, I don't leave them a choice. So they're gonna have 1 combo piece and then they're gonna be architected. They scry 2 top with Serum Visions though. It's kinda spooky maybe. But then next turn they are forced to use Angel's Grace. Like they're not gonna be drawing anything of importance. I think I should be taking the pact. Because like I want to... I think they don't win if I take the pact, so I think I should not extend this game for many draw steps. Have you seen the Living End list with Rhino's sideboard? I did, but I didn't understand it fully. Is it just swapping Living End for Rhinos? That's it? So first we put Grief, then we put Aquitects. How you can tell me, yeah. Very strong cards. So next time they're gonna draw in on life. They're gonna have Grace on life. I'm gonna take their spoils. Yeah, Chalice, you know, Chalice works anyways, and like counter magic hurts you anyways. Yeah, they're probably not gonna cast the Grace. They actually won't be able to cast the Grace. So yeah, we just give them the Unlight, take their spoils. So we're gonna go top, top, top. We're gonna Grief. We take the spoils. We do this. And now they have a Lotus that's not coming just yet, so their hand is Grace lands. And they either play the Unlife, we attack them and bounce it. So we win, or they don't play the Unlife. They play the Grace to survive, but then we bounce this Upkeep and they draw a Nauseum that they can't cast. So yeah, they're locked. Can actually cast a Grief, funny. With my 2 sources that the entire 2 sources that I have in the deck. They don't really need to bounce it, they have 1 life, so they can't really ad nauseum, but this way they can't even play the life, I guess. Okay, who won because of Borrower? Well, it was pretty dead if I don't have a huge board, right? Oh no, they can play a land, that's true. Fair. We even get +1/+0 to everybody so that we can attack harder. Good luck, Kaneki. Thank you for wishes of my fortune to be nice, yellow hat. Okay, so Dismember, I'm not interested. Fee, Maka, I'm not interested. What is Ad Nauseam even playing? Like, does Ad Nauseam even play anything that works against my deck? It seems like it should be a great matchup, but of course, maybe I can get hit by something. So they're gonna be not play Thoughtseize and Pacts. I could have some. I think Subtlety is good too. Subtlety? Just to max interaction. I don't need that many monsters in my graveyard, TBH. But I'm trying to find a deck list of that deck to take a look at an example sideboard. Because they could bring Chalices or something. Mashmalovsky, that's pretty reputable source. Leyline. Thoughtseize, not much, TBH. Breaker being sorcery speed is kinda... medium, TBH. Like, this being sorcery speed, I'm not really a fan. Thank you, Card Ape. Subtlety countering their combo is a thing that is legit. Maybe. And maybe train my living ends. Then I'm gonna draw it. At 4/4, the borrower seems better to interact because you can instant speed bounce their things. Pitches to force negation. It's gonna cut the 2 whales for 2 subtleties. I know, maybe you should cut more cyclers. Well, this is straight up better and this has more power. Disputes doesn't counter too much. Brian. So this is a keep, but a kind of a weak one. Although if we cycle to a black card and have a good board by turn 3, it's kinda late, but we'll see. This Bloom. Here I guess I cycle for a black card immediately, but also not super sure. Oh, spawn! Whoa, 1 lander. Kinda spooky. Sit down with discard ASAP. Melt your heart. I guess we take a Spell Pierce. Now have plenty of mana and 2 spoils. Do you ever board in all 4 breakers and 2 vigors? In fact, I think I only bring vigors when I'm boarding 4 breakers, right? To have enough green. I did that against Hammer when I was playing yesterday. So I was cutting Grief against Hammer, which does make sense to me. This Living End deck is from a guy I met a GP years ago and described himself as the only Living End player left on MTGO. Well, let's see. Grief and what else? I don't remember. Force of Negation, Grief, that's 8 cards alone. So that's +6. Then the Borrower and the Dismember, I think, will also join. Just changing the interaction for better interaction. That's what I would do, as of now. Yeah, you need to have more pitches. So you're happy with the 4th Breaker? I think so. But I haven't thought about it super much. So we hope they don't stop the combo piece, because then they can try to go for it, but they also need not to die in the meanwhile. And take the Unlife. Because then we kill the next one, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, +6, 14, +4. I remember Gap like Ingoture quite a bit. Yeah, I've seen some lists with Ingoture. I don't have a strong opinion, but I don't know, it just seems convenient to be able to do both. Sure was nice because it was 1 mana, so I could break Chalice on turn 4. Yeah. Against Urza's Saga 6, it's just so much better to have one card that is flexible, right? Because you can use it on either. Especially since you are using Living End, it is gonna come back, so you are going to use it multiple times, so it would be nice if it would be able to hit both. But against Chalice specifically, that's true, kinda true. So yeah, if they go Spoils or Angel's Grace, cast Angel's Grace, cast the other spoils, get an Oracle. If Oracle is the last card, they win, but they really need that. Right, because their hand is Pentad Prism, spoils now. And they drew a land. Yeah, I think if you play Chur, it's over Vigors. You'd cut Vigors for... You know, I've seen lists that had free Churs and free breakers, foundation breakers, so that's a way to set it up. You are casting spoils. Reveal Sunlife. Sure, that's a way to do it, I guess. That's actually... Ooh. That's actually a very good way to do it. I guess I'm dead... No, I'm not dead next turn. They can cast a spoils, but they need to draw the Oracle too. You can find a removal for this, or you can find a Force of Negation, which should work too. You're also a fan of the Sunken Ruins. I haven't tried Sunken Ruins myself. I've seen that Sodek was playing with them that one day when I was watching, and then he cut them immediately after a league, and I thought about this. They took 3 poison, which they shouldn't. This is the bug of Unlife. Okay, so the question becomes, what do they name here? Because they're gonna name Ad Nauseam, right? If I counter, I let them draw Ad Nauseam if it's on the top of their deck. The Sunken Ruin seems really bad end of turn. Not end of turn. If you keep a one lander with it, then it's kinda rough. But other than that, it doesn't have much cost. It doesn't pay for this at all. I thought it fixed Unlife. Apparently, they did not. So I think we don't counter this because my opponent can't grab an Oracle, right? My understanding is correct. And you can counter the Ad Nauseam, which they're gonna get. Not let them draw an Ad Nauseam. Because now they can draw a Spell Pierce or Pact, I guess, so kinda close. Probably was better to counter because they have more counters than they have Ad Nauseams. It's not often that you'll get to keep a one lander, and even when you can, that's 119 or 120 chance it's the ruins. Yeah, well, then you have to wait that against how useful is hardcasting Grief. I already was in a situation yesterday when I was really times where I wish I could have cast the cards, but I couldn't. I'm gonna play Vintage today too. And I was thinking of playing Hollowvine and Vintage, as I haven't played it yet and has new cards. Plenty of new cards. Although it's probably somewhere deep. Like Gola stacks are kinda... Oh, here it is, Uberg. Gola stacks is fine, but I never liked it playing Gold that much because it was always feeling kinda bad to me because it was bad against the same things as Ravager shops, kinda. Except that it was much more passive and people just were locking me, were just, you know, beating me on turn 10 with when they finally drew some mana and they were able to play Shattering Spree. They were keeping their hand for underneath the Trini Spear for like however many turns and I just died. It does have results, so it's probably, you know, not bad. And I think after playing with Ravager shops recently, I think it is better. It's better than shops. As you say, mainly because shops versus stacks favor stacks by a decent margin. Sanctify Ronvek. Interesting. Is Ronvek all that good? It's good against Dredge, right? It's main deck. Times 4. So I would expect it's good against blue too, but doesn't seem very effective against shops either. So I don't really understand that, but I want to play this. Win the challenge, second place, Julie third, so that's was been a while ago, but it's a neat deck. Now you've got Furies in the sideboard for removal, you've got 8 Root Wallace for Revenge Vine, so you don't have to play shitty Mem Knights, you've got 8 Squeeze, with one of them pitching to Force of Will and Negation, which is kinda very pog. No Griefs, well it's not a black deck, right, so it doesn't play Griefs. There's no black pitches. 2 gas citadel, 1 strip mine for wasteland, 1 petrified field, 4 serum powder, endurance. Is endurance good against any other thing in vintage? Does it actually work as a Doomsday hate card? Endurance can counter breach, I guess. I don't think it really counters breach because eight squeeze for only Bazaar to abuse it. Is that too much? Well, the way this deck works, you never keep a hand that doesn't have Bazaar of Baghdad, so it is only for Bazaar to abuse, but this deck only works with a Bazaar on the battlefield, so this is a fair way to build this deck. Like, you know, I can't view it as only Bazaar to abuse because you're never gonna keep a hand without it. You're gonna mull it. Doomsday exiles the other cards, and you can endurance them. Maze of it. What is it? Maze of it good against? So yeah, do you board it against Doomsday? They often will only put Ancestor and Lotus in the graveyard, so endurance won't even work. Yeah, I think it doesn't work super well against. Actually, it will still work. So they put 2 cards in the graveyard. This is also a hate card. You also hardcast it with Chaos Cradle. Occasionally. It's a shame that you don't have red mana to pump the Root Walls. Can they just throw a counterspell to the mix? Well, you know, you can throw a counterspell to your mix too, right? You've got plenty. They like need to combo immediately, they might not be able to, so, you know, having more layers be good. Fury looks interesting to me too. Killing monsters. Pitch a squee. Or leyline free Raft Trap. Or Archive Traps. I think Archive Trap is better against Dredge for sure, yeah. So like the only reason to play Endurance is if you believe it's extra helpful. Or extra green cards to pitch, I guess. Apple Bottom Jeans by Luciano Pavarotti. I don't get Maze of Earth, so I'm gonna cut it. 5, 6, 7 plus extractions to support the wasteland seems like a good dredge plan. Actual survival against land destruction. You need to replace it with a single archive trap. Then we can board in noxious survival against for mind break traps, for missile against shops. Against shops you would like fury. You would like -3 trap, -1 mental misstep, then consider fast of negation, but probably keep it for this. We'd like petrified field too. Could also have ghost quarters against shops. We've got plenty of options actually. Pretty awkward to cut both negations and because then your fossil will is kind of weak. No Hogak. Hogak doesn't fit in this deck. It doesn't work well. You don't have 2 monsters to convoke it. So like 4 Fury. Mana can support 1 or 2. To summon Hogak, you either need to tap your Vengevine or you need to have 2 Root Walla, so it's just not possible to plausibly cast one. Seg used to play Once Upon a Time, but it's not even bothering anymore. Just interesting. I guess you never could have kept on Once Upon anyways. And you can move lower with more of those, I guess, and have a bigger hand. What does Master of Death do in this deck? Both Master of Death and Squee just return from your graveyard to your hand in your upkeep, which means that Bazaar of Baghdad, instead of being tapped to draw 2 then discard 3, once you draw 3 of those total, becomes draw 2, tap to draw 2, which is quite potent. Because then you like draw a lot of cards and you pitch the extra card to forces and kill your opponent with the Vengevine. This is a Delver-like deck. Seg is a Delver of the format. Yeah, also Master of Death has a nice color of being blue, you can Force of Will pitch it. The Delver of Secrets. Can also upgrade to 1 Funky Choice of the Void. 30 bucks. Okay, we are not going to upgrade to a Funky Choice of the Void. How much does this cost? 30 bucks. How much does a regular one cost? 32 bucks. Whoa, that's a downgrade then. How much does this cost? 34. I have to say, as someone called Master of Death, it sucks at death. No, the original comment by James said... Well, said it better. For someone called Master of Death, it sucks at being dead. Which is true. Fuck you, slaves. Can we look at James' comments? Once the new spoiler season starts, we will. I need to open chess chat for the play points. That's a very good open. And for a longer waste might be worth like 0.8 of a ticket too. I was mistaken. Fun fact, opening chess for play points is minus EV currently. Smiley face. Well, as you see, this present borrower here would like to have a word with you. Which, what I'm saying right now is obviously untrue, a fallacy, and just... I know. But tell me about minus EV, friend. Say that again. 44 tickets, yeah. Decent price. So now, like, now that I open 2 insane cards, right? I should stop, right? To, like... Because it's still bad EV2. Well, regardless of whether I open good or bad cards, I should stop because the EV was and is bad. But... it would be insane if I opened a third insane card, Glorybringer. Does Mind Break trap anything? Whoa! 7 tickets? Yeah, 25 PP is also good. This might be worth like point something, but probably not. No one's playing those lands, right? Nowhere. It's not gonna be worth anything. Skyfire Kirin. Skyfire Karen. 2 red. Legendary creature, Karen Spirit, flying. You may gain control of target creatures with that spell's mana value until end of turn. Perplexing text. Your proofs were a bit non-traditional, but effective nonetheless. Full marks. Full marks? Chopin all? No. Sage Eye Avengers. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird that there's many cards in Cans of Tarkir that depict monks, Jin monks, and there's oftentimes many of them on a picture, and there's many instances of a slim one and a fat one, and they come in pairs like that. Well, maybe not multiple. There's just Ascendancy for sure. There is some other card too, I believe. Yin Yang. Also monk equals no shared. I think there's many shared monks. The slim ones and Nefret too, right? Well, but they were called Jin Monk. Jin Monk, not Jin Monks. Audacious Reshapers. Sack an artifact. Reveal cards until you reveal an artifact. Put on the battlefield and rest on the bottom. Deals damage to you. Wow, great card. Whoa, Okina, Temple of Grandfathers. Temple to the Grandfathers. Should have stopped to hit a bat pocket. No, now we need to make up what we have lost, chat. Oh, 25 PPs, that's good. Might still be the longest card name in Black Border. Which name? Which name? Which name? I said which name thrice. Okina, Temple to the Grandfathers? Sagari Ganjo Castle now? Well, it's MTGO is 0.02. Oh, Vito. Well, we have 300 points already, so we can't open anymore. Or rather, we don't need to open anymore. Okay, we don't, chat. Okina was the longest before MH2. I don't know if it's longer than Aswara no Mardikata Isinakul Dakar. That's interesting. It doesn't sound like a very long name, but 2D adds letters, I guess. O, K, I, N, A, T, E, M, P, L, E, T, O, T, H, E. That's 16 already. G, R, A, N, D, F, A, T, H, 25. E, R, S, 28. Forgot the comma. Well, comma is not a letter. Or like, well, it is a sign. I don't know if it counts to the length of the name. And the? No, I counted the. As was 26. I was 28 or 26. I don't remember what I said. What I just said. Yo, Canister, how are you? Wanna know the modern challenge? In fact, yes. Kina 28, okay. No, you forgot the spaces. Well, but the spaces are not... do not count, or do they? What about Black Luster Soldier, Envoy to the Evening Twilight? It's not a magic card. It's a character set counts. Is a space bar a character? Is space bar a character? Yes. No. Let's solve this issue via a vote. A, S, M, O, R, A, N, O. Asmorano Istin. Asmorano Istinakul Dakar? A, S, M, O, R, A, N, O, I, S, T, I, N, A, K, U, L, D, A, C, A, R. I counted 22, but... No, I skipped Mardikada. Okay. A, S, M, O, R, A, N, O. M, A, R, D, I. C, A, D, A. I, S, T, I. N, A. C, U, L, D, A, C, A, R. Yeah, that is 31. You missed an N? I did not. You missed an N. If you do this with candles out, Griselbrand appears. K, R, I, S, L, B, R, A, N, D. 11 letters. Oh no, streamer is retarded. I am not. Co jest kurwa? I was trying to fix my USB ports disconnecting randomly, and I reinstalled the drivers and it didn't change anything. Reinstall the Universal Serial Boost Controller's driver. Turn off the power saving option. Reinstall Universal Serial Boost Controller's driver in compatibility mode. Okay, I'll do it all again. Polish counting sounds like casting a spell. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, siedem, osiem, dziewięć, 10, 11, 12. I actually messed up. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, siedem, osiem, dziewięć, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You know what's sick? It's French counting. French numbers. Because in French there is no word for 80. Rather, there is a word for 80, but the word for 80 is 420s. Then, like, the word for 91 is 42011, which is kinda weird. 420s, lol, weed bongs. Yeah, it's very interesting. Can you show your living end build? You can type exclamation point decklist to see it, or I can show it on screen, which I'm also going to do because currently we're not doing anything. Deck, living end. Mostly copied Sodec, but then I added 3 markups because I thought that some people might play this deck too, because it seemed kind of potent, and without, like, I don't know what directions does the mirror go without Graveyard Height. Well, against a person with Graveyard Height, you're just gonna lose. I've heard Belgium has words for 70 and 90, but not 80. Anyone can confirm that? Oh yeah, also 17 French is 60-10. 70, which I think it is. Which is also weird. What's the worst case scenario besides paying at free and reanimating their snipper with bolt in bin? No, I mean, I wouldn't board the Fey caps against that matchup, but what would you play over with the macaps if you don't expect much of the mirror / graveyard decks? Sodek was playing second Dismember, second Basketball Dispute, and something else. He was playing Anger of the Gods, but that sounded pretty bad. How much of an improvement is Agent for this deck? I think a pretty sizable one. Largely just because it makes this deck 3 colors instead of 4 colors, right? Which is very convenient. It's also pretty funny that this deck cannot cast either Cascade through Blood Moon, but you really need islands. And also, like, the extra 2 power did matter. Like, it was not meaningless. A few times already mattered that it added up to 20 because of the extra agent sitting there. And the blue card for a force. Well, so is the other one, but... Carry Foundation Breaker Blood Moon. Yeah, you can burst and borrow it or Force of Negotiation it. And it's also a 3 mana card, so like it comes the same time as your Cascade come. The agent is so much better than that. Yeah, well, that's not comparable, but... Agent is also sizably better than Ardent Play. Why isn't the mana built to survive Moon? Because a forest is a useless land unless you play green cyclers. I don't know the pool of cyclers. You can look at the pool of cyclers, but you need to play green cyclers. Which then, yeah, you don't play forest, right? As easily. Cycling, colors, green. Cycling G, I guess. Let's search for. Creature. Cycling G, creature, formats, modern. No blue, green, or black green cyclers as shards his allied colors. Yeah, I mean this deck is, well, wow. Wait, is that all? Can be everything that there is. It's the Titan of Rex, 11/11. With trample, that's actually not terrible. Just go with just cycling then, if that's all the results. Dashian Minotaur is the card that people played for a long time. Doesn't have great stats though. It's kinda boring, there's not many green cyclers. It's just a Dashian Minotaur, and really that's only this. Yeah, the reason why this deck wants to play blue is because in blue you have this, and I'm not even playing any right now. You have this, and I'm not even playing any right now, but you could play the 4/3 from Modern Horizons, the flyer, plus the Waker of Waves for the big guy. It's no Titan of Rex. I think Titan of Rex would be slightly better than Waker, but also Waker puts another creature into the graveyard occasionally. Windcaller Raven, yeah, that's the name of the guy. And flyers are in general, I think, really good in this deck too. To have flying monsters. Waker is nice in post-cyborg games. Why? Like maybe it is, but I don't know exactly because... Oh, it's just because you hardcast it. Plus or something, yeah, that's a 3/4 I think. With an irrelevant ability. One Waker and one land for 2 more Karablits. Okay. I think that's fair. I did miss a black card once or twice, and by no means requisite. And Karablits is a nice way to include more black cards in deck. So why is Waker good in post-pro games? With like some Rexes Nitro a lot. You could just play the Rex, but to... I mean... It's unlikely to kill in... It's unlikely to kill in one shot anyway, so it's gonna kill in 2 shots. It can kinda kill alone in 2 shots, but... Waker plus creature... Like, most of the time you're gonna kill in 2 shots with a living in anyways. That's how it lines up, so the... Waker is also stronger all on its own, so if it comes from the nuclear graveyard and then you have a Walker, you build more easily. Well, you can also rebuild with the Titanus Rex that way, right? Because Titanus Rex is gonna be an 11/11, actually gonna kill quicker. But green is a worse color than blue with the main deck forces and then subtleties. Although it's better for your other effects, so yeah, it's sketch. Almost the Prey Piercer. Do we keep hands like this? I'll keep. First you're gonna cycle this and you're gonna see if we draw under land. If not, we're not gonna cast Grief on turn 1. Yeah, Waker costing 2 is pretty bad here, I agree. Whoops. Sure. I forced this for moons, which makes it okay. Oh, better fortunate than skillful. We could grieve them. Settle for spending next turn digging for this. Now we can cycle Waker for the third land. This happens to me really often. Frankly, in this exact spot, I wouldn't be able to cycle the... Well, I wouldn't be able to cycle the Carabit anyways, because I would need to fetch Breeding Pool for this to assure this. Or I would need to risk needing to draw exactly green source. On the other hand, we could pitch the Carabit to this, but then cycle this, so that's be beneficial too. Or cycle Carabit in 1, yeah. I think we're not gonna die, especially like with Grief 4, so we grief them right now. This is gonna come back, sucker. Ready for the 05 league, grabs popcorn. I'm not in a league. Wow, nice draw. So let's hope they don't draw another moon and that we draw a land. Oops. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to my fetches, that's true. I have 4 Misties. They play fetches. They drew a Seasoned Pyro. Okay, they ditch a creature. They get closer to Moon. Let's draw the land. Oh, thank you. Just as I would thank Huel for sponsoring my stream and making sure that I can consume stuff. Active player, non-active player. So there is a reason to do it now, because then we get to discard whatever they draw with the Seasoned Pyro. We get Street Rave, Curator, Waker, Grief, Riverwinder, so I probably beat like anything. It doesn't really matter if they moon me anymore. So any reason to wait versus not wait? Why not draw step? Because they get one fresh card from the draw step, but they get two from Seasoned Pyromancer. So I actually see more cards to choose from, and there is less unknown cards coming. Because the triggers are put on the stack in active player, non-active player, so if I do it in my turn, their Pyro resolves first. And if I do it in their turn, my Grief is gonna resolve first, before they resolve their Seasoned Pyro. So I think it's correct to do it now. Close, and doesn't matter much, but I think it's now. They're not gonna be able to attack for my monsters anyways, right? And they also, like, they don't choose what to discard right now, so it's also better for me slightly. Get their Fury, and they get one new card, yeah. We have 7, 17. 17 plus 27 power, 27 power. I would block 17, and they would take 10 plus 3. This guy's living in today. Again, no. Recent Borrower. So if they block 2 big guys, then we deal 9 plus 6, which is 15, so that's close to enough. We would like not to die to stuff, so I guess I'm going to keep blockers. Therefore, can keep the hexproof persons blocking attack and just kill them in 2 turns, as we're not gonna kill them in 1 turn. 7 plus 10, 17. If they don't block anything, then we can combat trick them into killing them. I don't want to not have any creatures on top. If they play really dashy monkeys, they have a haste creature, right? And they're gonna die over the course of 2 turns. It's like, how do I die, right? Stomp. I think that dying would involve some obosh. I don't think I can really die. It really doesn't matter. Well, they have this though, so if they exile this, they make tokens, then maybe they can live for 2 turns. But still, they don't win. Violent outbursts in combat comes up fairly frequently, I agree. More often than I would have guessed. Wow, Pan is a trooper. Passion Borrow attack for 13. I want to stand to bouncy blocker and attack for 12. So you found a line that deals 1 more damage, I guess. Okay, so Obosh, M. Hayashi Obosh. I should expect some. Wedge Claw. Should expect. Eh? 4 Relic of Progenitus. Do you have to cast the card as a cascade trigger? Yes, I may. 1 moon for Relic, so I kinda would like to have Vigors. Even if I would not bring the Foundation Breakers. You can have the Brazen Borrowers too. They're not the greatest against Relic though. Neither is this. Force is good against both Relic and Moon, which are the most important cards. Grief is not very strong, TBH. Especially on the draw, they're gonna play the Relic faster. This I can cast against Moon anyways. Can have Subtlety. Can have those against Relic. I mean, this does help a little bit against Moon, but it's not gonna have enough blacks. I think I have some subtleties. But this seems too bad to me. Here I would rather have 4 Vigors. I can only pitch Cascades, but I think it's good enough. Because it does answer Moon. Because it seems like a keeper only. You have the card that's very great in post-board games, Wake Up the Waves. Kappa. Oh, not a monkey. If do we subtlety this? I doubt it. I guess I can wait. Mystery tape. Monkey was scary because it makes turn to Moon, I think. It's gonna happen. And it seems like it's likely to happen. You have an island, which is pretty okay. Basic Forest also lets you cast Outburst for Moon. Yeah, it does, but it doesn't do anything, right? You would need to sideboard it, which I think you could. So, like, Basic Forest at best is sideboard card, I think. Unless you'd play plenty of Waker of Waves to use that forest mana. Obosh activation. Nice. By nice you would mean cringe, friend. How many green fetches do we play though? We have 4 right now. Okay, we have everything. But he could want. And we just put 5 monsters into play while my opponent is gonna have no monsters, which I think puts me in a favorable position. Also, the second Wicker ends up in my graveyard too, which is pretty nice. 24 alive though. Got 14 plus 23, so we're one short. Funny. Double Radiant Fountain. Okay, we're more short. The only thing this match has proven is that Wicker is great post sideboard. Yeah. It did work. Flame Slash explains his matchup well enough. Yeah, Flame Slash is kinda... Wait, I'm sorry, Flame Slash, like... Isn't that the first card to cut? Or is there something even worse in their deck? We could bring any like all the pillages, all the relics, all the moons. That's good stuff. So you would keep that. And Flame Slash seems like a very low priority card. What do I know though about Obosh experience? Obosh. If you say Obosh like that, it kind of sounds like if you were saying "Oh my God" in Polish, which, you know, if you had a bad matchup against Obosh decks, when they reveal their comrades at the beginning of the game, you could say Obosh, which I think is very humorous, but when do you bring in all these subtleties? Murktide? I don't think it's against Murktide. Against Titan, certainly. Against decks where Force of Negation is poor and other cards are poor, then it's gonna be excellent, right? Just a swap for Force of Negation. Wonder about Endurance in the side, but probably better in the Footfall stack, but seems decent. The Mirror Plus okay against DRC in some spots. Yeah, I've seen that some lists were running Endurance, but I thought about how easy is it to pitch for it in the mirror, and I wasn't liking that, so I put the Ferima caps in there. How much worse would this deck be without black? Simigoni, Splash Outburst? Well, you're not playing black mana, right? So... You're not playing black mana, and the black cards you play, like... You don't play any cards that require black mana. Even though somehow in this deck there are 16 plus 4 extra 4 in the sideboard black cards. You don't need a swamp, but you don't have any swamps, right? Has Mono Red Blood Moon ever actually been a good deck at any point in any format? It's not bad. Can you explain your strategy versus the graveyard hate card Gradgrimm's Cage? I would bring in 4 Foundation Breakers and 2 Force of Vigors and the extra Borrower Raise and Borrower to try to interact with this card. As if it stays on the battlefield, that means a sure defeat, so I would like to, you know, avoid that. Chat, can you watch my stream right now? Because I just got a message that my OBS has crashed, and I wonder if I click it, then if it's gonna stop working. Yeah, you're actually currently watching my stream. I'm kind of afraid to say yes, because then it's gonna close or restart the OBS. Alright, let's click it. Would you like to save the crash copy of the local clipboard?